If you come into Africa and you're not trying to extend yourself, become part of the community, Africa gonna use you up.
Welcome to the channel that reps the motherland. Subscribe if you're a pal. That's a Pan-African lifestyler.
Some important things that you really need to know about if you're planning to actually move to Africa, because moving to Africa or relocating to a completely different country that you've never been to could be very challenging and could be very difficult. Having to learn a completely different culture that you never grew up in or never thought in your entire life that you would actually get to learn a different culture and getting to learn a different language and getting to mingle with locals, the local people, getting to get used to different type of religion and also getting used to different type of food as well. And this is a very big step to take, and planning to move back home, it can be difficult sometimes, and it comes to financing, it comes to cost of living, it comes to the change of environment, it comes with a lot of challenges. Basically, visit the country a couple of times before you make this decision. This basically means that it's always good to actually visit the country, maybe let's say 4 to 5 times before you actually set up your mind. And it's always good to actually choose different countries to visit and not just the one that you heard people saying, oh, this country is really good, so I'm going to move to that. No, 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 don't do that. All the countries in Africa may be similar, but it depends how you actually see it. It's always best to experience it yourself and don't take what people are saying to you, because what one person might like might not be something you may be interested in. So visiting the country, getting to know the people, learning the culture, it's always good as well to learn the language, because this will really be an advantage for you moving to a country and you've actually started learning the language, because then you can actually communicate with the locals, you can mingle with the locals, and this will actually open more doors for you as well, because at the end of the day, the country that you decide to move to, the people will actually appreciate the fact that you're actually learning their language. So the greeting is something very important, and asking what's your name, like simple words like this, is so easy to learn. You basically just adapt to the language as well. Start learning the food, trying different food. You can go on YouTube and basically have a good idea of what kind of food you would be expecting if you actually visit the country, and start doing some research to know kind of business opportunities are actually in that country, because this will really help you when you actually decide to actually relocate, and make friends as well, like people in the diaspora that are actually from that country. They will also tell you things to expect, the good side and the bad side of the country, and they might even basically connect you with their friends and families, so that when you actually moved over there, you would have some locals that you can actually connect and hold like family. But the most important thing I must say is, if you respect the culture and respect the people, God, you're gonna have the perfect time in Africa.
If you come into Africa and you're not trying to extend yourself, become part of the community, Africa gonna use you up. So we have to keep in mind that we are foreigners until accepted into the community. You just can't bogart yourself into a community. You gotta slide and ease your way into the community. If you wanna, build your four walls around you and keep yourself from the rest of the community, you setting yourself up. You got to know each other. Why? Because people want to know, who is this moving into the neighborhood? And you want to know who's your neighbor. You should always be coming in with open hands to give and an open hand to receive. If you're not trying to connect, we're bringing the same mentality back from America to Africa then. And so, yes, it's about that community. It's about that community. If you ain't trying to be part of, because we come from America, we all live our separate lives. We go our separate ways. We go move in our own house, and then we might go ahead and say, get with you tomorrow, whatever the case may be. But we're talking about when you live in here, this is a community. Why would you want to come somewhere and not try to be part of all the benefits of becoming an African again? You're going to have to connect. If you are wanting to experience the true African culture. If you don't, you just another American sitting in Africa, touring around, bought you some land and built you a house, and you just living your life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you're not connecting, you know very little. I want you to learn some language like hello, goodbye. How much is that? So that's gonna help you when you come visit or wanna live. Do your homework, do a little history, take out the languages, and have a heart to wanna come into a country, and be part of it.
We have a certain mindset about Africa based on the way Africa was marketed to us. There's a big repatriation, a big move back to Africa. There's a big movement going on right now, whether you've noticed it or not. A lot of people are giving up the luxuries in their European countries, the luxuries in the West, to go back to the continent. When I think about this, it just becomes what do you mean? What would I say? The better evil, if that makes sense, because it's like nowhere is perfect. Nowhere. There's no utopia. There's no perfect place. There's no perfect country. Everywhere has its, good and bad. But when I think in terms of psychologically, culturally, emotionally, I just really feel as if some countries in Africa are really where we need to be. There's so many things you have to take into consideration. It's a reality. Everyone can't go back. Everyone's not in a position to. Everyone does not have the finances to. Safety and security is a big issue in a lot of countries in Africa. There are unsafe parts in the West. I'm not negating that, but the level, how important security is, I feel like it means something different for someone who is in maybe a developing country in Africa compared to being in the West. Healthcare is big. Basic infrastructure, basic things that are just to us are like even like so basic and so down here, people don't have access to it. And then when it is good healthcare available, it's extremely expensive. Only rich people can afford it, honestly. It's nowhere close to being affordable for the average African. After healthcare, I would say is jobs is a big one as well. It's not that simple just to leave your comfort, leave your job. It's actually paying you every week, every 2 weeks, and go to a country and just take that risk. Like people talk about business, entrepreneurship. We talked about it in another video. Everyone's not gonna be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not gonna be a business owner. Some people have to work in these businesses. Everyone can't own a business. So for people who want to go back to the continent and don't want to be an entrepreneur, and there's nothing wrong with that because everyone doesn't have to be an entrepreneur, they need jobs. And even light is a big issue because light is security. I've even mentioned the light situation in some countries. 24/7 light is not really available to the everyday person. People are still using generators. So to me, light is a part of the security issue. If I don't have access to light 24/7, I can't go out a certain time. I can't do certain things. And I just feel as if Africa has so much potential. As a continent, particular countries in Africa especially, but I just feel like as a continent we have so much potential. Most countries in a continent, 54 countries, youngest population, so much potential. If we're all being pushed away from it, it only gives space for foreign people to come in and just exploit us. I just feel as if all of us can't run away. That shouldn't be every African's dream to leave Africa. You should not have in your mindset that you plan to live here for the rest of your life.
Thanks for tuning in. Share your thoughts by commenting and keep repping the motherland.